Hi folks, and welcome to the Filmomix channel. And this time I'm in the forest, obviously, but I'm on the little evening ride. I went to my favorite trailside cafe, and if you're in the vicinity, please drop by Käsedele, because they are just plain freaking awesome. You can get some organic farming products like dairy, and you get the cheese and dairy products, and a lot of regional good stuff for your meals and stuff. So not an advertisement, because I'm not getting paid to say so. I'm just I just find it amazing, and I find it a good thing. So you might want to support something like this if you're there. There's also an open air museum, which is pretty good, even though I have a little bit of an unfortunate history with them. But it's no mistake in the fact that it is a really great thing. It's the Freilichtmuseum Hagen, and always worth a visit. And tells a story that I say this, even though I have a bit of a bad. I have had a little bit of a bad luck with them, in terms of job and stuff. But maybe also a little bit my fault, because I didn't. Well, I was really young at that time, and maybe I would see several things a little bit different nowadays. So, but I'm on a ride, as I said, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my bike, and especially something that might be counterintuitive to all your free riders and enduro riders out there. But well, maybe this is something really old, because well, I do have my I kill myself bikes too, and I love myself a good enduro trail too. But honestly, one of the best things I ever did was buying this rigid troll, and this Shirley Bikes troll. Also not an advertisement. It's just, it never ceases to amaze me how capable this bike actually is. It's a pre-2012 troll, and it's just amazing. It's for what I do. Most of the time nowadays I'm riding out to the hills and doing some, well, mild single trails, a little bit of gnar too, but nothing too gnarly. And I'm a chicken shit anyway, so I thought, well, why do you need a long travel enduro if you're all you do is tootling around anyway, and maybe you want to go on a bikepacking trip or something? So why not get yourself that rigid troll? And which was, as I said, one of the best things I ever did, and not too expensive too. And well, I show it to you again. Well, rigid forks with all the bosses for luggage, and their own trademark carriers, and well, lovely paint job that holds up admirably, even though I was pretty lazy and didn't fit chainstay wrapping. If you look at that, you can see there are little scratches. There was a little bit of chain suck, and if you look at that, there are a little bit of scratches, and but well, I also do love 26 to ride 26 inches, because they have shorter spokes. They stay true for a little bit longer, even if you ride some gnar. They are a little bit lighter to accelerate, a little bit more bumpy than 27.5 or 29. But if you look at the trademark slogan of Shirley, fatties fit fine, and well, indeed they do. You could, with 26 wheels, you could easily fit some really beefy rubber. I think even 3-inch or even larger would fit fine. And I tested, you could also put in some 27.5 easily with beefy rubber, and 29 with a little bit of more shallow rubber. So that's something that's really awesome about this. And look at that. Do you still know what this is? These are cantilever bosses, and you can fit, I get some hydraulic Maguras and some some rim brakes from the Stone Age of mountain biking still in my cellar. So when shit hits the fan, I could easily revert to rim brakes if I can't afford disc brakes anymore, and they would turn to a wreck, which I hope they don't. So this is a really versatile frame. Also, all the bosses. What's a little bit of a pain in the arse is that they do have horizontal dropouts, which I'm not getting accustomed to. There are also bosses for through axles. You could also fit a bob trailer and all the stuff. I fitted some standard quick release hubs because, well, that's what I also have in my cellar. So this would be easier to repair because, well, I put in a medium aggressive layout on that, so the stem isn't too long, and you can see it's a pretty neutral position, a little bit forward, and you can see that there is a little distance between the saddle height and the stem. I only fitted one washer, which could be reversed to the top of the stem. It is a head system, and there is a strong light headset which you could adjust and replace the bearings. Everything on this bike is made for maintenance ease, for ease of maintenance. The hubs are pretty simple. They are Deore hubs, and you could still open them. They do have a cone bearing. If you look at that, you could adjust the bearing play with them and also repack them with grease. Same goes for the headset. Same goes for the bearings in for the cranks. And what it also has is a triple chain ring set. Well, for the sole reason that I still got it, and I like a little bit of oomph when I'm riding road. Because this is what this bike also does a lot. It's also my go-to for running errands and stuff. Also, the rear derailleur is a pretty simple SRAM SX4 for ease of maintenance too, because I could repair it with the means of my cellar. Right? You could create, you could machine parts for it, and if it would break or something, or put new bearings on, and well, the seat post is just a simple, I don't even know the brand, but it does the job admirably. And I fished an old Salsa quick release out of the box at my favorite, then favorite bike dealer, because this is something that I don't like about the bike, is that it does have a 27.2 seat post diameter, which doesn't make it easy to find a dropper post or something. And if there's something about modern bikes that I really love, is having the capability of simply dropping the post from your handlebar. I still have a height ride from the Stone Age of mountain biking, which is a simple spring that goes like this, and you could add it to that in order to drop your post and remove it to the adjusted height for your pedaling. But thing is, well, you still need one hand to your seat post, and you must remove it from your handlebar. And in most cases, when you would like to have a lower seat height, well, it's not a good idea to remove your hand from the handlebars. And one of my absolutely favorite parts about this bike is this here saddle. And this is, as I said, a little bit of counterintuitive to you enduro riders and stuff, but also one of the best things I ever bought. And it came dead cheap because I got it on a flea market. It is English make. It's a Brooks saddle. Brooks Colt is an old one. And look at this lovely make. This is a piece of craftsmanship. Look at the copper rivets here, and the lovely leather, which has acquired sort of a patina. I must try to clean it a little bit. Just today I put some beeswax on it, because if you look at these indentions here, that was my arse. And this is something that a leather saddle, a genuine leather saddle, does what your modern saddles don't. Because it adjusts to your anatomy, and this is the comfiest saddle I ever rode in my life. Not including obviously another Brooks saddle I still have, but this one is a little bit wider and has some springs down here, which is maybe not well suited for really hard riding in off-road terrain, because it constantly gets in the way when you're riding steep chutes or something. This one is perfectly alright. You can get behind the saddle with a little bit of adjustment. It's a little bit wider than your standard enduro saddle, but it's nothing that's too bad. And also I just love to look at it because it's just this piece of craftsmanship is really awesome. And if you look down here, there is a possibility to retension it, and this, if the saddle line will sink down a little bit like that, you can just use a wrench to get it back to working order. And that's also a really great thing. This one is pretty heavy compared to standard bicycle seats. Oh, I'm saying standard bicycle seats, because at the time these were the standard bicycle seats available, and they were really awesome. And well, the thing is, it's heavy, but the extra weight really pays off in comfiness. And if you are riding for long distances at a time, this is really worth the extra mile. It's and I can't emphasize this enough. So this is something, as I said, it's a little bit counterintuitive. To the entire bike is something I didn't think I would enjoy, because I was also going at high speed down some really gnarly trails, and honestly, it's pretty surprising how fast this can go down, and this is something that never ceases to amaze me. It is slower than my enduro hardtail, or even my full-on freerider. That's a given, because it's it doesn't go full moto, and you need to adjust your riding style a lot. But it is faster and more resilient than you would guess at first glance, because it's I have compared it to a good sword, and a real sword, not a wall hanger. Because if there is a blow that's going through the fork, it is transferred to the steel frame, and just disappears in the vibration. And you need to get accustomed to it. It is a little bit harsher in the ride, but given that you should adjust your suspension if you want to go full tilt, a little bit with more spring resistance. Anyway, there is not that big a difference between my enduro fork and which is a domain, and the plushness of this fork, with the exception, obviously, that it doesn't absorb impacts of objects that high. That's not going to happen. So if you want to do this, you will go ass over tit, and it doesn't it doesn't take well to you making any mistakes. So you must be really alert, and ride a clean line, and if you don't, you will recognize. So that said, hope that was halfway informative, something different.